Welcome to Brewsers, podcast about beer, coffee, booze, and bruisers. I am your host, Rody John, and today we talk to Natalie Killface Morgan. As you may have heard, she has retired from Muay Thai competition. We talk all about her career and what the future looks like after her competition days are over. This is such a fun interview. Natalie and I were supposed to talk before she retired, but she let me know that she was going to retire, and I said, let's wait until afterwards so that way we can just talk about everything, and that's exactly what we did. This is such a fun conversation, and I can't wait for you to hear it. But first, make sure to sign up for our newsletter. It comes out twice a week. You get even more information about our guests. You get fun facts, and you get to find out about what's happening with your favorite podcast all about beer, coffee, booze, and bruisers. So without further ado, here is Natalie Killface Morgan. I would like to welcome to the show Natalie Killface Morgan. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So for those who are listening, kind of paint us a word picture. Where are you at? What's going on around you?
So I am in Philly. I lived in LA for about 15, 16 years. I've been here for almost 3 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. I just got back from Thailand. I was there for 10 days. I had a fight, so I'm still a little jet lagged, you know.
I want to get to that in a second, but I want to go to what is your earliest memory of martial arts?
I didn't find martial arts until I was in my 20s.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was 23, I think. And, yeah, I used to watch UFC on the weekends with, like, my guy friends and stuff. And he was always one of my friends. So I was talking about Muay Thai, the stand-up part of, you know, MMA. And I was like, that seems cool. So, yeah, I just looked it up and did a bunch of research and found a class, and I went to a Saturday morning class somewhere, like it was Muay Thai for fitness type stuff, and I fell in love, like, immediately.
That's so awesome. And Muay Thai is not exactly one of those that's as popular as some of the other ones, so
No.
you've got into definitely more of a niche one.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I was always interested in martial arts. You know, I grew up on, like, the Karate Kid and the next Karate Kid, actually, the one with Hilary Swank. It was a girl, you know, the girl version of the movie. So, you know, I was always interested. I just grew up in such a very small town in West Virginia that there wasn't anything like that.
No, that makes sense. Now, you just mentioned that you were in Thailand this past weekend. Mm-hmm. Something rather big happened after your fight. I guess tell us what the big announcement was, and then tell us kind of, you know, what the whole process has been like for you.
Yeah. So the big announcement, I actually haven't officially announced it yet. So I will, but this is...
Well, this will come out later, so...
Yeah, this will be a official announcement. So I'm going to be retiring. I've had a almost 15-year fight career.
Wow.
Yeah, Muay Thai and fight career. So it's I just had my 40th fight at Lumpini Stadium in Thailand. So it was a great way to, like, you know, cap off my career, and I won. Right. So it's even better. The process has been very interesting. I've been thinking about retiring now for about a year. I'm 36. So, you know, like I said, I didn't find martial arts until I was later. So starting at, you know, 23, 36, you know, so, I've just kind of been like, it's been an interesting process because people don't really talk about what you do when you retire from professional, you know, like martial arts. So, you know, I've been lucky enough that I've been surrounded by some ex-fighters that have had really good advice for me, you know, into looking into this next part of my life, because a lot of people have it, you know, as this existential crisis when it comes time, you know, to hang up the gloves. And
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. As it becomes so much of who you are, you know, that you have to remember kind of who you were before you started. So that's kind of my journey and my process this past year is, you know, I had a fight back in May, and I June and July completely off. I didn't hit anything. I did nothing. I mean, I worked out, I just did other fitness stuff, but I didn't do any Muay Thai. I didn't do any boxing. I did no martial arts whatsoever, to just kind of like reset and like find, what life would look like for me without fighting. And like things that, what did I want to do? I went skydiving. I went whitewater rafting. I found my love for the outdoors again. So
Wow.
it's like things like little things, things you don't think about.
Now, what was it, I guess, that really, I guess you woke up, or maybe it was a collection of thoughts over time that, like you said, about a year ago you made the decision. What was it that really you're like, okay, I think I'm good?
Yeah. I had a fight back in May, and it was a, in quotation marks, split decision, and I felt like the win should have went, and I never in my career have I ever felt that way before. And it was in her hometown, so she had that advantage, and it was just a really it just seemed like a blatant, obvious, wrong choice, so to put it nicely.
No, that makes sense.
So that was kind of like, I was just like, wow, it really took a lot of steam out of my sails, and I'm like, do I want to keep doing this at this point in my life? When, it started bringing on other questions. Like, there are a lot of younger girls coming into the scene now, which I know, and I'm starting to fight younger girls, they're in their 20s, like early 20s. They're young and they're hungry. I remember what it was like to be that, hungry for the win and, whatever. So it's like, do I still have that? And I really don't. And, I don't enjoy the training like I used to. I would like to, enjoy going to the gym, and it just becomes something that, you just do all the time because it's kind of your job. And, I've kind of lost the love for it, I guess. Not lost it, but, it just feels more like something I have to do than something that I get to do,
Right.
So yeah, I was just like, after that, I was like, I had those 2 months break, and I was like, I don't really want to go back to fight camp right now. Like, I do not want to do this. And, I was like, okay, this is going to be the last one, definitely. 'Cause I don't have it in me to do the fight camp anymore.
I can understand that. I mean, you're putting in that grind, but obviously you're putting in the work for that one night and for that one fight. And then after that, it's all right. What's next? What's back to the drawing board? Who's the next opponent? It's almost like, rinse, recycle, repeat kind of situation.
Yeah.
And I imagine, I've never done it obviously, but like I can imagine, like you said, 15 years of that, like, plus on top of that, the wear and tear from your body, like your body only can handle so much over a certain amount of time. And then unfortunately, as we get older, and the recovery process is like far worse as you're getting older, which, father time is undefeated. So, nobody wins on that one.
Yeah, exactly. That was another deciding factor. Things hurt and they don't heal like they used to. I used to be able to fight on Saturday and I was back at the gym on Monday. That is not happening anymore. I fight on Saturday and like I might make it back to the gym to train, like actually train on Saturday the next week, that was another big deciding factor too. I have all these ailments that hurt, all it's chronic because, you, like you said, wear and tear for such a long time.
Yeah. Now, I want to go back again. I kind of want to go back and forth with you because I think this is a fun way of looking at your entire career and how, you kind of got to where you were in the beginning. And then, I want to obviously keep going back to how you're feeling, what the future looks like for you. So what was it like? You said you grew up in a small town in Virginia and then you just straight up moved out to LA. What was that process like? And what did you think of, moving to a busy, big, traffic-filled city called Los Angeles?
I was really excited. I wanted to get so far away from where I grew up and just see the world, and I was so excited. I was really nervous. But yeah, I was like, I have to do this now. That was my mentality. I was like, I do not want to wake up in 30 years and be that person over there that has like 3 kids and hates their life and made no good choices in their life. And, I was like, if I don't do this now, I'm afraid I'll never do it. And I was like, bye. I just was like, I'm doing this. So, I packed everything up and I did it. And, it was a love-hate relationship at first. Like, it was really hard to like adjust. It took me about 3 years, I think, to adjust. And then I was like, oh, I really love it here.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, but it was adjustment.
Yeah. I imagine. Plus, like, you don't really have to worry about any winter clothes anymore because you live in Los Angeles, so the weather's perfect all the time.
Yeah.
Now, you've kind of, from what I've noticed on your Instagram, kind of turned it into more of a teaching platform. Now that you have officially retired, is coaching an option for you? Is that something you would actually enjoy doing?
Yeah, no, I do coach now. I've coached throughout my entire career. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I do mostly. I don't train fighters. I don't want to train fighters. I know what it takes to train a fighter. It takes a lot, if you want to be a good coach. And I don't necessarily think that just because you're a good fighter means you're going to be a good coach, because some people aren't great in those roles. But I do like teaching Muay Thai, more so to like just, the general person who wants to learn something fun and get fit, while they do it. So yes, I will continue. I do one-on-one private lessons, and here and there I'll teach classes and seminars and things. So I do continue. I want to continue to do that. Probably don't have any, aspirations of opening up a gym or anything like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of overhead that I think people, it sounds better than actually doing it. Like, what you see like in the documentaries and the TV shows and online is the fun part. Then you have to worry about like doing the bills, making sure everybody's paid, making sure you're a counselor basically, because you have to referee certain employees that don't maybe get along for 5 minutes or whatever. So like, yeah. That's the unsexy part of being an actual gym owner.
Yep, definitely. And I've managed gyms in the past, as throughout my career. So I've seen, all the work that goes into it, and it's a lot. Yeah. I wouldn't want to do it.
No, I can imagine. Yeah, just getting hired at different ones would be better.
Yeah, definitely. I worked at Equinox once. That was a nice gym. That was bougie.
I think they had one of those. I think they might still have one here in the DFW area. I had a friend that was, she worked there, and the videos I saw, that place looked crazy bougie.
Oh, it's so nice. Yeah, some of them are like 4 stories, with a spa on the floor. Yeah, they're nice.
Nuts. I would not want to pay for that. It is too much.
No, definitely not.
Now,
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. You seem like you had a thought. Go ahead.
No, I was just, I'm planning on going more so of a different route with career path after fighting. I got my bachelor's degree while I was while I was still fighting. So I actually put myself through school with, I paid for my tuition with my fight purses. So I got a geology degree. So I want to pursue getting maybe a PhD in environmental science. So that's kind of something I've been working towards recently. I've been working with some advisors, and I'm applying at UPenn.
Wow. I did read that you had that, and I was curious. I wanted to ask about it because that is not something that most people get into or find all that interesting. No offense, but obviously it's still a degree you can get. So tell us what is it about geology that really kind of hooked you, and tell us more about, what you plan